Aumentacoepe, Mima Lakota, Oyate Wachimpi Mielo, Mbatiwashte. It's a good day today, my relatives. My name is Works for the People. What I want to talk to you about today is part of that work that I do. I am chairman of the board for the T.R.E.A.T.Y Total Immersion Educational Endowment Fund, in which we're trying to emulate, out of total respect, the Maori indigenous people of Aotearoa, which is known to the white man as New Zealand. The Maori, almost 30 years ago, if not more, it was more. Wow, time flies. Started their total immersion education, in which they got rid of all the European modality of education and started teaching their children the way their ancestors were taught. I was over there 20 years ago in 1990, right after they had celebrated their 100 years of the Treaty of Waitangi. And I visited their total immersion. At that time, they had 5 independent schools. Now they got something like 180. The curriculum of Maori land is now part and parcel of public education in the entire country. Maori has been accepted as a national language along with English. The racism that I experienced as a Maori down there, because they had mistaken identity when I took my braids off and just went forth with my hair long in a ponytail, they treated me like a Maori, and man, it was bad. But enough of that. They started teaching their children the way the ancestors taught them, you know? And that's what we're doing here with the T.R.E.A.T.Y Total Immersion Educational Endowment Fund, which is in short called the Treaty School. Treaty, T.R.E.A.T.Y, which has a huge meaning to us Indian people because of the United States government's mistreatment of treaties. But I also utilize that as an acronym, Treaty School. True revolution for the elders, ancestors, treaties, and youth. Treaty School. True revolution is with the children. So we're starting with 3 and 4-year-olds. This year, we got a grant from the Annenberg Foundation, and we're going to, for the second time, but this time permanent, we're going to start the beauty of teaching our young. We're not going to have any bells. We're not going to have any security. No barbed wire. No metal detectors. No uniformed guards. We are not going to have any English modality or any European modality of education. Getting rid of the classrooms, the periods. It's a holistic education, which is based upon natural life and natural law. Natural law. What is natural law? What a concept, huh? But a deep and very profound concept. In natural law, you will understand how to live in this life. So that, and we do not try to explain what we cannot explain. like the afterlife. We know nothing about the afterlife. We do know that there are forces, unseen forces, and seen forces that are greater than we are. We recognize that. That's natural law. And we recognize who we are. And that's where you start. You start with your heart and your brain. Western science has just recently realized that not only is there electrical current between the heart and the brain and a blood vessel current, hello, but there's also an emotional. Goes both ways. And there's a feeling. The feeling. So if you know your senses, you're acute. The senses are acute. And you're in touch with natural law, therefore, if you're in touch with your senses. When a baby is born, it knows nothing about their senses, except what's the first thing that comes to a baby that they can recognize? It's like throughout all of life, it's true. All of life. All of life. Scent, the sense of smell. They smell their mother. They smell their father. They smell their sibling. They smell life. That's how they first recognize anything and everything. And then eyes and ears, hearing and sight, taste, touch. All of these senses come in one after the other and simultaneously to aid and abet your most magnificent sense, which is smell. Now, according to natural law, human beings are no different than all of life. We are attracted or repelled by smell. It's the first thing, not by sight. That's not the first thing. When we see something, we have to recognize it first, and it might take a while. But if we smell, we don't even have to see it. And whether we like the smell or don't like it dictates how we're going to react. Not our sight, not our hearing, not our touch, not our taste. Smell. Human beings give off an odor. That's how we selected mates by natural law. The smell that each of us had for one another that we enjoyed. That's what brought us together. And that's how we stayed together and enjoyed family. Smell. Now, when the patriarch took over, what did he do? The patriarch's up there all by himself, full of fear of the woman, but he wants to control the woman. How does he control the woman? Because the woman is beautiful. And he wants to have that woman smell. So he invents perfume and makes her wear it so that he can whore around and won't be repelled. And she has no choice. That's just one small thing about natural law. You know, the 4 seasons, or if you live near the equator, where there are no seasons, but there are different things. There's life and birth and death. Other ways to count natural law. And so there are many things about natural law we have to understand. Not only the profundity of how we recognize the strength of women, but ourselves. T.R.E.A.T.Y.